So we had done till question number 4. The next one is question number 5. Do you have the textbook?
No, ma'am, I have that PDF you sent.
Okay. So let's come to question 5. It says, so there's a hemispherical bowl made of brass. So there is a bowl and it's gonna be like this. Not so curved. It's made of a particular metal called brass. It has inner diameter 10.5 centimeters. So, you have those mugs or soup bowls, they have some thickness, right? They have some thickness. Like the material that they are made of, it is, it has some thickness. So, if you take a look at the top view of your bowl, so the radius is the inner diameter is 10.5 centimeters, right? So the inner diameter, and then there's this thing called the outer diameter. So let's see what that means. So this is the top view of our bowl, and we have, this is the radius, right? This is the inner radius. Inner radius means, so this part, just a minute. Okay, so this part is the thickness of the bowl. So the inner radius or the inner diameter is from the radius, from the center of the bowl to just the inner portion, and the outer radius or the outer diameter is going to be all the way till here. So this is the inner radius right now. So they are saying in the question inner diameter is 10.5 centimeters. So that means inner radius is going to be 10.5 over 2, right? Centimeters. Find the cost of tin plating it on the inside. So see, you have a ball, you have the outside of it, maybe you want to paint it with something, and you have the inside of it. They don't want you to do anything on the outside. Right now, they're just asking about the inside of it. How much is it gonna cost if I tin plate just the inside portion? So for that, you will need the inner radius. So this is your radius, and you have to find the cost of tin plating it. So what do we need here? We need curved surface area of hemisphere. And that we know is 2 pi r squared. Yeah. So that is 2 into 22 by 7. You can write 10.5 as 5.25 also. But I personally find it more convenient to just do it like this. Okay. So this is my r, the radius. So this 2 gets cancelled with this 2 gets cancelled with this, becomes 11. So 11 into, now this 10.5, we can write it 7 threes are, or sorry, 7 ones are 7, I'm left with 3, 7 fives are 35. So that's 1.5 into 10.5. So quickly calculate this. It will come out to be centimeter squared. Okay.
Ma'am, I'm very sorry, but can you please
Hmm.
share the PDF again?
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Just a minute. This PDF is only for this particular chapter, surface areas and volumes. If you want any other chapter, you can tell me that. I will send you that one as well. Okay. So now done with this question. So the sixth and seventh one we've already done. Let's do the eighth one. The sixth and seventh questions we did in the previous class, which was yesterday. Now let's do the eighth question. A hemispherical ball, again, a very similar thing happening here. A hemispherical ball. Okay. And the top view, this is the top view. And the top view, they are saying, this is the eighth question, okay? uh, Made of steel. It is made of steel 0.25 centimeters thick. So the thickness, this thickness is 0.25 centimeters. The inner radius of the bowl is 5 centimeters. Find the outer curved surface area of the bowl. So in such questions, you need to be very careful what you are actually finding, okay? So in this question, inner radius is given as 5, the thickness is 0.25. So the outer radius will be the inner radius plus the thickness, right? It will be this much portion. It will be this much portion plus this much portion, right? That will be the outer radius. And why do we want to find the outer radius? Because in the question, it is asking for the outer curved surface area of the bowl. So just write it, outer radius is equal to inner radius plus thickness, which is equal to 5 centimeters plus 0.25 centimeters, which is 5.25 centimeters. Now we can easily find the outer curved surface area. Therefore, outer curved surface area of the bowl is equal to 2 pi r squared, right? Because it's a hemisphere. So 2 pi r squared. This is equal to 2 into 22 by 7 into 5.25 into 5.25, because that is the radius. Now, one thing that I prefer doing, you can just simply calculate all of this and then divide it by 7. You can do that as well. But one thing that I prefer is I can just write this 5.25 as 525 by 100. Why? Because we know that 3.4, for example, or let's say 5.6, this can be written as 56 over 10, because there is one decimal place, so 1 0 in the denominator. If you have a number like 5.25, then you can write it as 525 by 100. You remove the decimal point and you count the number of decimal places and you put that many number of zeros. So this is why we are doing this, just so that we can get it in the form of a fraction so that it's easier for us to calculate. It doesn't make a difference even if you just leave it as it is. If you just leave it as 5.25, you can just still calculate, do the calculations, okay? So 7 on the 7, no, 7 6 are 42, 7 7s are 49. So there's 3 is left over, 7 5s are 35. Hmm. 75 by 100 is 3 by 4, 2 and 11. Okay. So we are left with 33 into 5.25. So now I didn't have to do any division in this way. I didn't have to sit and do the long division. I avoided that, right? So that is something we can just use to simplify our calculations. 33 to 5.25.
The answer is 173.25.
0.25. We don't ever say 25.
Okay.
Why? See, because when you say 25, what does it mean? It means 20 plus 5, right?
Right.
This means you remember when we studied in I think fifth, sixth grade, used to have ones place, tens place, hundreds place, and so on. But then when you write, let's say 3.25, this is no longer a 20. This is not a 20 because 20 means it has two tens. Because in place of tens, in the tens place, you have a 2. So imagine if you want to pay 25 rupees to someone, you hand over 20 rupees, like 10 rupees in a note, and then another 10 rupees in a note, and then 5 rupees, right? So how many tens do you have? You have two tens. So you can't call this as 25 because this is not a 20. This is not two tens. Okay, this is a tenth, which means it is 2 by 10. This much is 2 by 10. This digit 5 is 5 by 100. So if you remember, we did this, you guys must have done this in 7th, 6th, 7th grade, that this number can be written as 3 plus 2 by 10. So it's not 20. It's in fact much, much smaller than that. Okay. So whenever you have decimal numbers, always remember that they are pronounced in a different way. So anyway, 173.25 centimeter squared. The same thing as the previous one, actually. Okay. Let's do the ninth one. So for those of you whose schools are following the new syllabus, because as you can see, this textbook is the rationalized textbook, the new syllabus of CBSE, then for you, this ninth question might be deleted. But for those of you whose schools are following the old syllabus, let's just do this question. So there is a cylinder. A right circular cylinder just encloses a sphere, meaning that the sphere is not like very small, but it just fits into the cylinder. It is like perfect fitting. It's not too small or anything. So it just encloses a sphere of radius r. So obviously, if the sphere has radius r, then the cylinder also has radius r only, right? Uh, Let me increase this a bit. All right. So the sphere's radius is r. So that means obviously the radius of the cylinder is also r. And it just encloses, meaning that from the top part also it is just fitting and the bottom part also it is just fitting. So if this part is r and this is also r because that's the radius of the sphere, right? So that means the height of the cylinder is 2r, r plus r. This r plus this r. So it is r plus r, which is 2r. Find the surface area of the sphere. Surface area of the sphere is pretty simple. 4 pi r square. That's the first part of the answer. Surface area of the sphere is 4 pi r square. Curved surface area of the cylinder. So CSA of cylinder is how much? 2 pi
Pi
r,
square.
sorry,
2 pi r square.
no, 2 pi r h of the cylinder, right? So curved surface area of cylinder is 2 pi r h. Uh, what is, we have to find the, so the height, what is h over here? H is the height, and the height is 2r. So this is 2 pi r into 2r. So this 2 into 2 is 4 pi r squared. So it turns out that the curved surface area of the sphere and that of the cylinder is the same. Ratio of the areas obtained. Ratio is what? 1 is to 1, right? Please complete this, then we shall move on to the next topic.
Yes, ma'am, done.
Done? Okay. All right, just a minute. Fine. So the next topic that we're gonna do is volume of cone. Okay. But before we do volume of cone, let's just do volume of cylinder. See, volume of cylinder is pi r squared h. Why? Because see, when you have a cylinder, volume means area of the base multiplied by height. Okay. So volume means the amount of space it covers, the amount of, um, you can say, the capacity of that object is called its volume. So volume is capacity. Okay. So if you have area, let's say if you have a circle and you, it's not just a circle, like you cut out a circle from a sheet of paper. Hmm? You cut out many such circles and you keep stacking them one on top of the other. So what will you get? You will get a cylinder. You will get a solid cylinder, right? That shape will be of a cylinder, and the volume of that cylinder is going to be the area of this, each slice, which is pi r squared. Area of a circle is pi r squared, we know that. And the height, which is h. So pi r squared multiplied by h. So the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h. Okay. And then the volume of a cone happens to be just 1/3 of that. Volume of cone is 1/3 of the volume of a cylinder. Because imagine having a cone here of the same radius and same height. So the volume of this cone is going to be 1/3 of the volume of the cylinder. So let's do some questions. Just a minute. So this is exercise 11.3 from the new version of the book. And let me just see which exercise it is in the old version. Okay. I will just cross check that and tell you in a few minutes. So the first question is, find the volume of a cone with radius 6 centimeters. Let me just highlight this. And height is 7 centimeters. So what are we going to do? Very simple. Volume is equal to 1 by 3 into pi r squared h, right? 1 by 3 pi r squared h. So please find this out. R squared is 36 into 7 centimeter cube. And the unit of volume is always cube, like centimeter cube or meter cube. Because you can see here, if you multiply these three measurements, you get a cubed, right? Let's say if each of them is centimeter, centimeter, centimeter. So centimeter square into centimeter becomes centimeter cube. So just remember that. Okay, then the second one, I believe you can do it as homework. Acha. Now, before we come to the second question, a few formulae that I would like to share with you. Formulae for conversion. Okay. So, see, if you have 1 meter cube, that is equal to 1 kiloliter, or in other words, 1000 liters. What does this mean? Imagine what is 1 meter cube? Imagine having a cube. Imagine having a cube, each of whose sides is 1 meter, 1 meter each. You know how big 1 meter is? It is more than the length of your arm. Okay. So imagine having a cube that is that long. Each of the sides is that long. So 1 meter each. This is not 1 centimeter, it's 1 meter, which is pretty big. So imagine having an aquarium, a glass aquarium, which is a cube in shape, and its sides are 1 meters each. So when you put water into it, it's going to be a lot of water, right? So it actually is 1000 liters. I am teaching you a trick to memorize these conversions because many a time students tend to get confused in these conversions because there is one more. 1000 centimeter cube equals 1 liters. 1 liter. So these are two conversions that you need to remember. 1 meter cube is 1000 liters and 1000 centimeter cube is 1 liter. Please write it till here. Yes, the exercise is 13.7 according to the old book. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . .
Okay.
Okay. Let's come to the second question. Find the capacity in liters of a conical vessel. The first part you will do as homework. And the second part, height is 12 centimeters and slant height is given as 13 centimeters. Now, for the formula of capacity is what? Volume, right? You have to find capacity. Capacity means volume. And we know that volume of a cone, the formula is 1 by 3 pi r squared h. So, see, the thing about formulae is that you will become proficient in using formulae, or you will be able to remember formulae once you practice enough. So volume of a cone is this much, but we don't know the radius, right? We don't know the radius. We only know the height, and one more thing is given to us, and that is L, which is the slant height. So we know that L square, because in a cone, it looks like this. This is the height, this is the radius, this is the slant height. So this makes a right angled triangle. And we know that in a right angled triangle, according to Pythagoras theorem, L square, the hypotenuse square, equals h squared plus r squared. So L squared is 13 squared, which is 169. By the way, you guys should have memorized the squares and square roots till 30. By ninth grade, you should have memorized the squares and square roots till 30, because you cannot be sitting and multiplying this in your during your exam. You should know it by heart, the way that you remember times tables. If I ask you what is 8 sevens are, you will immediately tell me what it is. Similarly, you need to remember these squares and square roots also up till 30, 30. So L square, which is 13 square, is 169. Then H squared, which is 12 square, is 144 plus R squared. So to find R squared, what do we have to do? 169 minus 144 is equal to R squared. So that becomes 25 equals R squared. That means R equals 25 now centimeters. Yes. So 25 centimeters. So this is your R. Now you have to find the volume. So volume equals 1 by 3 into pi, which is, I think it's better if we just take it as 3.14 into R square, which is 25 into 25 into H, which is 12. Okay.
Ma'am,
So
R
I'll
will
just,
be 5, right? Like,
oh, yes, you're right. Thank you very much for pointing that out. So it's going to be 5 into 5 into 2. Okay. So here 5 into 2 is 10, and 10 into 3.14 is 31.4. So 31.4 into 5 by 3, because this 5 and this 3. Acha, by the way, before I forget, I have to make an announcement. You will be having a test this coming Tuesday on the quadrilaterals chapter. Okay?
sorry,
Coming
ma'am, can you
Tuesday.
repeat it?
Coming Tuesday, you have a test based on the quadrilaterals chapter.
Okay.
Okay. Centimeter cube. Okay. Let's do the third question of this exercise. There's a cone whose height is 15 centimeters. Its volume is 1570 centimeter cube. Find the radius of the base. Find the radius. And here you are to use pi as 3.14. So we know the formula for volume. We know that volume is given to us as 1570. But what is the formula for volume? 1 by 3 pi r squared h. So now this is equal to 1570. Now here 1 by 3 into pi, let's substitute the value of pi, 3.14. R squared, we don't know. We will write it as it is. H is 15 equals 1570. 3 fives are 15. And let's just multiply these two. 3.14 into 5. 15.7. R squared equals 1570. So R squared equals 1570 divided by 115.7. If you multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 10, what do you get? 15700 by 157. So this goes 100 times. So if R squared is 100, R is equal to 10 centimeters. So this is, we had to solve for the radius. Let me know if there's any doubt in this question. Let me know when you're done.
Yes, ma'am, done.
Okay. Let's move on to the next question, the fourth one. Yatika, can you please read it? The fourth question. Okay, I'll read it. It says if the volume of a right circular cone of height this much is this much. The volume is given, height is given. Find the diameter of the base. Very similar to the previous question. Okay, so we will quickly do this. There's a cone. The height is given as 9 centimeters and the volume is given as 48 pi centimeter cube. Find the diameter of its base. Okay. So again, volume is given as 48 pi and we know the formula for volume, which is 1 by 3 pi r squared h. So that is going to be equal to 48 pi. So 1 by 3 into, we're not going to substitute the value of pi, we're going to let it be as it is because here it will get cancelled. Or if you want, you can cancel it off here itself. Pi and pi cancel. R square, we do not know. H is 9. equals 48. So 3 threes are 9. So r squared equals 48 divided by 3, which is 16. So that means r equals root of 16, which is 4. So radius is 4 centimeters, but they are not asking you the radius. They are asking you the diameter. So this is one more important thing that you need to keep in mind while attempting any exam is that you have found the answer, but maybe it's not what they asked for. So always after completing your solution, always go back to the question and see, is this what I was asked? So then it's not asked, the radius is not asked, we have to find the diameter, which is basically twice of the radius. So which is going to be 8 centimeters. So this is the final answer. Let's move forward. A conical pit. So it's like a pit which has been dug into the ground, but it's not in a hemispherical shape, it's not in any other shape, it's in the shape of a cone. So it's a conical pit of top diameter 3.5 meters. So this time, why are we drawing the cone upside down? Because obviously, if it's a pit, it's going to be in this shape. It's not going to be the other way around, right? Because we are burying it or we are digging it from under the ground. So imagine that this is the ground. Okay, this is underground. And so from if you take a look at it from the top, this is the top view of the pit, and this is the bottom. Okay. Uh, Top diameter. So the diameter is 3.5 meters. That means radius is, you can say 3.5 by 2, or you can say 1.75. Your wish. 12 meters deep. So 12 meters deep means that the height is 12 meters. Height is 12 meters. What is its capacity in kiloliters? What is its capacity? Capacity means what? Volume. Volume is equal to what? So we know that the volume is 1 by 3 pi r squared h, which is 1 by 3 into 22 by 7 into r square is 1.75. I'm just going to use the fraction version, okay? 3.5 by 2 into 3.5 by 2. And then h is 12. 3 4s are 12. This 4 goes with this and this. 0.5 into 3.5, which is 38.5 meter cube. But they are not asking in meter cube. They are asking what is its capacity in kiloliters. So we know that 1 meter cube is equal to 1 kiloliter. We had written it over here. 1 meter cube equals 1 kiloliter or 1000 liters. So 1 meter cube is 1 kiloliter. So 38.5 meter cube is equal to 38.5 kiloliters. So this is our answer. Please note it down.
Ma'am, is it 38.8 kiloliters or 38.5?
Yes, 5.
Okay.
So let's come to the next part, the next question. The sixth question, I feel you all can do this by yourself. Okay, so do one thing, try this out as homework. It is very simple. We have done this kind of question in like previously as well. Now we will move on to the seventh question. Okay. For this, let me show you. I will show you an animation. Okay, just give me a minute. Till that time, you can, if you any of you hasn't written the previous answer, you can write it. Just a minute. Hmm, there's some. It's loading very slowly. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll show this to you guys later. Right now, we will just do the other question that we were supposed to do, the sixth one. Okay. Because without the animation, it is quite difficult for you to understand the seventh and the eighth question. Okay. So right now, we will just do the sixth question. The volume of a right circular cone is 9856 centimeter cube. So the volume is 9856 centimeter cube. The height is given to us. No, the height is not given. The diameter is 28 centimeters. If the diameter is 28, that means radius is 14. You have to find the height. You have to find the slant height. And you have to find the curved surface area of the cone. Okay. Let's say if these two parts of the question were not given to you. If it was said, find the curved surface area of the cone. How will you do it? You will first write the formula for curved surface area of cone. You will say that CSA of cone is equal to pi RL. But we do not know L. So to find L, what should we do? We know that if we know H and we know R, then we can find L. Yes? But since we don't know H also and we don't know L also, then we clearly can't find the curved surface area of the cone in this way. So for that, first we have to find out the height. So in order to find out the height, what do we need to do? We need to first see that, okay, they have given us volume. So we can make use of that. So volume is equal to 9856 centimeter cube. And we know the formula for volume of a cone, 1 by 3 pi r square h. 1 by 3 into 22 by 7. How much is R? It is 14. So 14 into 14. And H we do not know. That's what we have to find. So then we have 7 twos are, and that's about it. So H is going to be 9856 into 3 by, and the entire thing we bring it in the denominator. 22 into 2 into 14. So now you all can solve this your own way and tell me the final answer. So I am getting 48 centimeters. Anyone else also getting 48 centimeters? You will be able to get quicker in calculations once you practice more and more. So once we have found the height, we can now find the slant height. 48 is correct or no? Can someone please tell me that?
Yes, ma'am, it's correct. I got
Okay.
48.
Okay. Let's find the slant height. So L square is equal to H square plus R squared, which is 48 squared plus radius is how much? 14 squared. 48 squared, can someone just find that out, please? 48 squared is how much? 2304 plus 196. So L is equal to 2500. Root over of 2500, which is 50. 50 centimeters. So the first thing, we have found height. Then we have found the slant height. Now we have to find the curved surface area of the cone, which is pi RL. So 22 by 7 into radius was 14 into slant height is 50 is equal to, or instead of doing it like this, centimeter squared. Let me know if there's any doubt till here. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's try doing the last question. It's hanging just a minute. See, so the next, we're not doing the next two questions right now. We will do it in the next class, because in the next class, I will explain to you how we revolve a triangle about one of its sides. So right now, let's do the ninth question. And this, I am giving you a hint. You have to do this as homework, okay? So they are saying a heap of wheat is in the form of a cone. So, when you uh, have a lot of grains and it makes a heap, so it is forming the shape of a cone in this case. Something like this. And they are saying its diameter is 10.5 meters. That means radius is 5.25 meters. Okay. Then you have to, then the height is given. Height is given as 3 meters. Find its volume. Very easy. Volume you can find. It is 1 by 3 pi r square h. R, just put the value of r. Okay. H, just put the value of h. And you can find the volume. The next part of the question. It says the heap is to be covered by canvas to protect it from rain. The heap is to be covered by canvas to protect it from rain. So you have to find the area of the canvas required. So in this case, what do you need? What do you need to find the area of the canvas? You need to cover it with a tent or a canvas. Yes, Yatika?
The curved surface area?
Yeah. You need to find the curved surface area, because first of all, it says it covered by canvas, right? So canvas covers area. Let me tell you a few things. See, if someone asks you, find the length of the fence required to put a boundary around a particular field, or find the length of the string, that is perimeter, right? Length. When they're saying canvas, or when they're saying find the amount of, find how much fabric it will take to make this particular dress. So, okay, so the canvas or fabric, that is your area. Or if they ask you, find how much air this particular object stores inside it, or what is its capacity, that means it is volume. So length is one dimensional, area is two dimensional, and volume is three dimensional. So that means for a one dimensional object, only the length exists. Area does not exist for a one dimensional object. One dimensional object means, for example, a line. A line has only length, it has no area. A two-dimensional object like a square or a rectangle or a circle or a triangle, they only have area. They will not have volume because they are only two-dimensional. Okay. So now curved surface area, why are we not finding total surface area? Because, well, you don't need to cover the bottom of the heap. You don't need to cover the base. You just need to cover the curved part of it. So curved surface area is pi r L. For that, you need to find L. So L is under root h squared plus r squared, that you can find. And then you can put that value over here and you can find out curved surface area. Okay. So this is homework. All right. So that's it for today's class. If there are any doubts, you may ask.